This is Let It Loose, a Gloria Este-FAN podcast. The first fan-led show dedicated to her life, legacy, and impact. Lifelong Este-FANs Carlos, Rob, and Wes explore the songs, moments, and stories that made Gloria an icon. If her music shaped your life, then welcome home.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the first episode of Let It Loose, a podcast for Este-FANs by Este-FANs, dedicated to the life, legacy, and career of Gloria Este-FAN. My name is Rob.
I'm Wes.
And I'm Carlos.
And on today's episode, we're going to talk a little bit about who we are, why we started this podcast to begin with, and share some of our favorite moments of 2025. Let's let it loose, everybody.
Woohoo! Actually, before we let it loose, can we have a drink?
I'm drinking.
Oh, you're already drinking. Well, I actually... Of course you're already drinking. Well, I actually have a little special something here. I figured since this is our first episode, I'm going to bring out the bubbly. I'm pouring myself some bubbly. I don't know if you could hear the
Yeah, I made a
bubbles.
cranberry mimosa today. So I had a little...
Oh, that actually looks really
cranberry
good.
juice and Prosecco. I had Prosecco that was losing its bubble, so I had to use it. So
Okay, and what? How about you, Wes? What are you drinking? Gatorade.
Nothing. Gatorade. It's early.
So boring. Come on over. You could drink with me.
It's way early for you.
Wes's body as a temple.
I had a lot of wine last night, so
Guys, cheers to our
us.
first
Cheers
episode.
to you.
So, Wes, you approached me a couple months ago. Do you want to share with everyone exactly what your thoughts were?
I've listened to quite a few podcasts of other artists that I like. Michael Jackson in one. He has a really big fan base, obviously, that there's a lot of podcasters that go in detail about his albums and unreleased recordings and whatnot. And Gloria had a Billboard video from a couple months back. It was in Spanish, so I couldn't really understand what she was saying. It was about her number one hits and discussing some of the songs. And I remember hearing her mention Surrender Paradise, and whatever she's talking about Surrender Paradise, I want to know what she's talking about, you know? And I'm like, that's when it clicked. And I'm like, man, it would be great to come up with a podcast. Our goal with this would be like to get some people involved. You two were my first immediate thought. You know, we could do some deep dives into some albums, maybe learn some information, that we don't know. Hopefully get some guests on that may have been involved in those projects over albums. And it would be so cool to learn more about all these recordings and that we've loved for so many years.
I love that in Wes's vision already he's got us being a major success. We've got thousands of listeners, and we've got enough pull to invite people on and talk to insiders. Wes has dreamed big about this project since the very beginning of it. I weaseled my way into it because I just happened to already have a microphone. So they were like, well, Rob can join.
And you have to dream big. So good for you, Wes.
Well, I think all of us, inside, we want to know because there aren't as many recordings over the years as there have been in the past. It's always in our mind, okay, wonder what's in the vault. Is there anything in the vault? Recordings that she didn't release. We would love to know more about that. And I know some artists have opinions on releasing, demos and stuff like that. They may not be up for releasing demos, but how cool would it be to hear like an early version of a song or hear a story of maybe some back info on a song?
Definitely some behind the scenes. Those stories are always interesting. I know that we found out recently when I asked Gloria about the Live for Loving You video, and it seemed like a grueling process back then in the 90s because now technology is so different. They could put a video together like that, I'm sure, quickly, but back then she mentioned how it's just layers and layers and layers. Everyone knows what that video looked like. If one thing was wrong, they would have to go back and just relayer everything once again. So it would be cool to definitely find out more of those behind the scenes, whether it be regarding videos or songs or unreleased, just like the Disney vault. The Este-FAN vault. What's in the Este-FAN vault?
I want to live in the Este-FAN vault.
Maybe out of us creating this podcast, maybe we'll get a little invite into the vault or the warehouse and go through all the archives. I would die. That would be so fun.
You want to go to the vault. My goal is for Gloria to just say, you know what, guys, come on over. I'm going to make you guys some of my famous pancakes. That's my dream.
I'll definitely do that too. Although the two times that I've been around her, like, You think of all of these things when you meet someone that you love so much, and I'm just standing there like, wow, this is really
Well,
happening.
that leads me to my next question, and this is for you, Wes. Where did it begin for you? How did you become a fan?
It began for me, I'll have to say, my dad was a big fan. Growing up, him and my mom were big fans of, Lionel Richie, anything with horns. Let's just go there. Earth, Wind, and Fire. I grew up listening to that sort of stuff. And he loved the Cuts Both Ways album, loved her voice. And we were going to go to the Get On Your Feet tour show in Columbus a couple of days before the accident. I vividly remember him coming home from work saying, hey, the show's canceled, and this is why.
Wait a second. You had tickets to the Get On Your Feet tour?
Yep, in Columbus.
Wow.
Yep, he had bought tickets to that.
Goes to show how old you
Yeah.
are.
I was maybe I was 7.
I'm just messing around. I'm sure you and I are the same
Yeah,
age.
I had just turned 7. Yeah,
I know, I was 1. I didn't know English yet or Spanish.
here, baby. And then being introduced into the Homecoming, I love watching concerts. So I wore out a copy of the Homecoming concert, I'm sure. Love that concert so much. Get that feeling when you watch it, like the ballad medley and the Baila Conmigo, Por la Máquina medley. That one's great.
Would you listen to her music prior to knowing that you were going to this concert?
Yes. The Cuts Both Ways album was on in our household.
Is that kind of where it started for you with that album specifically?
Yep. So that's my special album, and will always be. Which we could do a deep dive into that album in a later episode.
I would love that.
Every little detail about that album is flawless, in my opinion.
Very cool. How about you, Robin? Where did things start for you?
It's trickier for me because, I grew up in a Cuban and Puerto Rican family, and nobody was a super fan like I became, but everybody sort of had her music on. Like, her music was on at every Christmas, every birthday, everything. So, my earliest memories are of listening to her music. There's a home video of me as in diapers dancing to Oye Mi Canto, right?
And that was 5 years ago?
That was in 2006. But in the 90s, when Mi Tierra came out, I remember that being a moment for me. Like, the music video was on VH1, and I saw the video, heard the song, and I told my mother we have to go to Sam Goody. And she said, why? And I said, because we have to buy all of her cassettes. We have to buy all that lady's stuff. And to be 3 or 4 years old and not to already know what cassettes were when the only cassette I had was the Flintstones or anything, that was the first time that I knew that real music existed that wasn't about the wheels on a bus. And so
And would you play those cassettes on your Teddy Ruxpin?
Excuse me, I had a Trolls Walkman.
Oh, wait, did I just date myself?
You did, because Teddy Ruxpin was BR before Rob. But no, when Mi Tierra came out, I had a copy of the cassette for every single device that played music in the house. For the big boombox, for my grandfather's house, for the car, everything that played music had the Mi Tierra album in it. And my earliest memory is literally sitting in my grandfather's rocking chair, looking into this yellow boombox playing Mi Tierra. And that, I just don't remember my life without her music in it. And it's always been there for me. And she's meant the world since I was 3 years old.
Well, for me, similar to you, Rob, her music was just always there, especially having grown up in South Florida. There's a home video of me at my aunt's wedding in 1986 jamming to conga. Like you, Wes, the Cuts Both Ways album is when I really became a fan. I was a fan before because we would go to the beach and we're listening to Bad Boy and Rhythm's Gonna Get You. The Cuts Both Ways album, I did not own. My aunt owned the cassette. And every time that I was with her, I would always make her put that cassette on. And you know which song was my go-to song? Say, do you say, won't you
That's
say
still one of my
you
go-to
love
songs.
me?
I love that song.
Yep.
I love that song.
There isn't a song on that album that's not perfect in my
It really is a great album. And I mean, it sold how many millions?
But you know what? That's also my mother-in-law's favorite song. She had the cassette.
Say?
Yes.
No way.
Some Irish woman from Boston talks about, oh, that album, we would have it on when I was cleaning. And then she's singing Say. And I was like, shut up. There's no possible way you know this song that only I know. But obviously, this album was a huge hit.
That's funny. So yeah, and then the first album that I purchased that was my album was the Into the Light album. And that one, I just remember playing Naib's song over and over and over, thinking that she was singing that to me. Because, at that age, I was just dramatic and
At that age,
well, listen, calm down.
I remember the first time listening to that album, and buying that album. My grandma bought it for me back when Kmart
Oh,
still
wow.
existed, the cassette, and we were visiting them out of town, and I remember going home late, and we listened to the entire album late into the night. It was great.
It really is a great album, but I look back and a friend of ours, Cynthiana, mentions this as well. She's mentioned this to me, where at that age, so now I'm 10, singing about sex in the 90s. What
I
the
used
hell
to
do I
fast forward through
know?
that song because I was like, I can't listen to this. It's so raunchy.
But I
Uh,
was into it. I'm singing Sex in the 90s in front of my abuelita. And I'm sure she was wondering what the hell's going on. And then I went to my first concert, which was the Evolution tour. That was not just my first Gloria concert, it was my first concert ever. That was just an epic show. And Wes, I think that was your first concert as well, right?
Yep, it was my first here in Cincinnati, Riverbend Music Center. It was an outdoor show. It was magical.
I'm so glad that I had the opportunity not only to go to the show. My first show was the day after the HBO taping, which was September 21st, September 22nd. And then I enjoyed that one so much that we ended up buying tickets for the last day in Miami, which was September 24th.
I want to hear more of these stories of all the stuff I missed out on growing up in a little town in Ohio. I'm so jealous of you, like growing up in Miami, like during all these, when she was like the pinnacle moments of her career, like being a part of all that stuff. I bet that was just so awesome.
Even growing up in New York, the opportunities I had to see Gloria at a young age, a lot of people don't have, like you, especially living in, the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Um, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like in New York, I could beg my parents to be like, "Hey, Gloria's going to be at the Today Show. Please, can I miss a day of school?" And that was the first time I saw her because of that. Like, we had so much more access than a lot of other fans do in other parts of the country, or especially in other parts of the world.
And because of that, Little Rob was everywhere. And I say Little Rob because my core group of friends, we call ourselves the Divas, not gay at all. It's Sammy, Angel Max, Troy, and myself. And I'm not sure if you know this, Rob, but anytime that we speak about you, it's not Rob, it's not Robert, it's Little Rob.
It's still Little
It's
Rob,
still Little Rob.
but I've gained so much weight.
Calm down once again.
Little Rob. I mean, I understand. Like, well, the first time I saw Gloria, I was 10 years old, and my dad did have to bring me to everything. Like, my dad would bring me to whatever the thing was and stand in the back or stand out of the way or find a seat somewhere. Not that he didn't like Gloria, but he's not a super fan like I was. He was a super fan of the Beatles, kind of, but like he wasn't going to go out of his way to go to the Beatles everything or anything of the Beatles. So for me
But
to
how
be
cool was
like,
that though, that he took you to all these? I
absolutely, he
mean,
did. He took me to every signing, every GMA Today Show. Like, we were lined up at 4 o'clock in the morning just for Gloria to sing 3 or 4 songs, and then I would go to school and he would go to work. So Little Rob was there with Big Joe at every single thing.
all right. What do you guys think about getting into this 2025 amazing year that she had and kind of going through some of the events?
2025 was an incredible year, not only for Gloria, but also for Gloria fans. Like, what a special time to follow someone's career. It
To
kept
be
us
alive.
busy. Yeah.
What a time to be
What a
alive.
time to be alive. It kept us so busy. It kept us on our feet. Wink.
I'm
Uh,
broke now.
you're broke now. But how much fun did you have this year,
Incredible year.
right?
The 96, 98
Mm.
Destiny Evolution Tour, the Gloria album. I love that era. However, 2025 is up there now for me personally, just because she comes out with this great album, killer album. There's so many events that I honestly, if she took the next 5 years to rest, I would not blame her. That's how busy she was in 2025. She deserves it. However, please don't do that, Gloria. If you're listening, no time to rest, no time to retire. We still want you around, and we're ready for the next album whenever you are.
Oh my God, he's ready for another album.
No pressure, no pressure.
Absolutely.
So, do you remember when the album was announced back in 2024?
So I remember when Carlos starts frantically texting me.
That doesn't sound like me.
I mean, you get pretty frantic when it comes to this woman.
I love Carlos's texts. Are you kidding me?
I was working, it was a weekday morning in September, and Gloria was on the CBS morning show. And she wasn't even promoting music or even promoting Gabby's Dollhouse or anything related to Gloria Estefan the entertainer. But all of a sudden, in this conversation, she's just like, oh, by the way, I did a whole album and it's ready and it's complete. And we start screaming over text. So like that just means all caps. We were absolutely losing our minds because up until this point, there had been no hint, no nugget of anything. As far as we were concerned, Este-FAN Family Christmas was her most recent project. She was working on Basura with Emily, and we were not expecting anything anytime soon.
Well, you went down a rabbit hole because we knew that it was a Spanish album. We knew she had mentioned that it was a love story. So you started thinking that it was going to be a Cuban Standards album.
The thing is, I like to manage my expectations. I like to set myself up for a good surprise. Not that new music wouldn't be a good surprise no matter what, but up until this point, it had been a very, very, very long time since we've gotten any original music, especially a full album of original music, right? So I was really trying to manage my expectations for you and for me. That,
why me?
I don't know, because like for the greater you, for y'all.
Okay. That felt very pointed.
No.
Okay.
But a little bit, where I was like, listen, this could be anything. It could be another re-record like Brazil 305, where they go from the 70s through today, which could be cool.
It could be cool, but you were saying all these things, and I'm like,
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah, I thought it could be a Cuban Standards, which I want. I still want that.
by that point, we've already had so many compilations and re-records and all that. I wanted a new album.
We all did, but I really wanted to set the bar as not low, but as low as possible so that anything that was like bigger than what we expected was a treat. And was it a treat this year?
And I'll say on my my record collector account, Instagram, that's one of the questions that I had been asked probably the most. For one, is she gonna come out with anything new and when? And I would say, like, because I always would ask people, I was like, well, what would you want if there were to be a new album? And I keep thinking I've heard so many Gloria 2.0s, another Unwrapped Part 2, and yeah, obviously a Spanish album, but I think people are eager for a Gloria 2.0. Really, anybody would take anything new, I think, at this point.
I'm down for a Gloria 2.0, but we got a Raíces. For me, that album now lives in the top.
Yeah, it's definitely an album filled with new classics, in my opinion, like filled with songs that feel like classic Gloria tunes. Like I think Chiri Chiri right away went up there with Si Señor and Píntame de Colores. I think Agua Dulce is up there with Mi Buen Amor. Like she has created fresh sounding music that still sounds like home and still sounds familiar as a fan. What an incredible album.
Let me ask you, Wes, were there any skips for you?
Ooh.
Dun, 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 dun.
I mean, none of the songs are jumping out as skips. I mean, I love them all. I can tell you which one I gravitated. La Vecina is a great song. And Chiriqui Chiri. I love Te Juro. That's probably one of my favorites.
You do love Te Juro. Te Juro is a beautifully arranged song, and I'm not a musician by any means. I had a guitar, but my guitar teacher got deported after one lesson, so I never got to learn. But Te Juro is so beautiful. If you have Apple Music, you could turn the vocals all the way down and just listen to the instrumentation of it. The music is phenomenal. It's so gorgeous. So do yourself a favor and listen to that. You really want to talk about skips?
Go for it.
Okay, I don't have children. I don't have grandchildren. So I don't feel particularly connected to Mi Niño Bello or My Beautiful Boy.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I would say I have to agree.
If you are a parent or if you are a grandparent, maybe you can connect with it. To me, it's not a song that I gravitate toward. It's not a song that I can relate to. Not that I need to relate to a song, but it's just not a message that clicks with me.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
It is beautiful. Yep.
And as someone that has 5 children, it was a skip for me, not because I did not like the song, not because I didn't like the message. It's a beautiful song. It's just the rest of the album, there's this vibe. And when you get to Mi Niño Bello, to My Beautiful Boy, it is different. It does feel a little different from the rest of the album. And I could not focus on that song at that moment.
Jumping back to the beginning again, right? Until we re-listen to it. It's so good.
I would skip Mi Niño Bello, go on to Tuyo, which everyone knows. Anyone that knows me knows that was my jam. That still is my jam. And then once that song was done, I would start all over from the beginning with Raíces. Now, once I heard the songs 20 million times, then at that time, after that, then I was able to listen to the slower songs. So there was Mi Niño Bello, there was
Cuando el tiempo nos castiga.
Yes, which is a beautiful song. I was not vibing with it at that moment because I was too busy listening to Tu y Yo. I was too busy listening to Agua Dulce, which I think is Agua Dulce. Actually, not that it's sonically it's different, but for some reason it gives me the same feels as Como Me Duele Perderte.
Completely. I agree.
Yeah. I never thought of that
So
until now. Yeah.
And then you have the fun ones like Chirriqui Chirri, which for some reason that song reminds me of Party Time.
Of Party Time.
Yes. The horns at the very beginning.
Okay. All right. I hear that.
As soon as it starts, I get Party Time vibes.
That song to me has so many cousins, and Party Time is not a relative.
I'm going to ask maybe a controversial question. Chirriqui Chirri, Gloria solo or collab?
Solo, 100%.
Solo. I'm not a big remix guy. I'm not a big new version guy. I love when they do like a salsa version of a song. I even liked some of the No Llores remixes, but like I'm not a remix guy. Like I know that Wes, you are a collector, you like remixes, but I'm not. And Carlos, you like to listen to like an extended dance, whatever. But
when it comes to like definition of a remix, I don't consider that a remix. I think it's just, featuring,
yeah, but it's still a different version.
It's a different version, so I guess you can
yeah.
call it a remix, but I think a lot of people, when you hear the word remix, you're thinking dance, right? But that's not always the case. But like you said, No Llores, I love the remixes on that one. Those were great.
I just don't need a different version of a song. Like, unless like we're talking a whole salsa version of a song, those are fun. Especially when Gloria goes in and re-records the vocals for it, like the Hoy, Por un Beso, Como Me Duele versions. Those are classics. I don't know. I think Chirriqui Chirri is already a standout on the album to begin with. It doesn't need sprucing up.
I agree with you.
I do appreciate Nati Peluso's verse. It just shows how much respect that she has for Gloria.
That's very true.
It's in the lyrics. So I loved when they performed it together. And not only did she perform this song with Gloria, she has this great verse, celebrating Gloria, but she's a longtime fan. Like one of her favorite songs is Por un Beso.
Yeah.
And she loves the Alma Caribeña album. I think she recently released an EP, and it's like all salsa music, and you can tell that there's some inspiration there. She did so much last year, as you guys already know. I have a list here, and I think if I read, it would take me probably 10 minutes just to go through everything that she did. But we started off the year with Jimmy Kimmel was the first performance for her this past year, right? With Sheila E. Then there was the American Music Awards. Seeing her on the American Music Awards, that was fun. Not only did she sing that medley of songs, it was Rhythm's Gonna Get You, La Vecina, and Conga. But what was cool is, this is not my generation now, but I know that there's someone by the name of Kai Cent, I believe.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I had no idea who it was either. Yeah, his reaction to it.
I don't know if is he a blogger?
He's a TikToker. People don't blog anymore.
I'm dating myself. I know. Kai Sant recognizes Conga and he puts that out on his TikTok page. And since that moment, Conga lived on the iTunes Latin charts, the top 10 for basically the entire year. There were so many, songs and stories with Kelly Clarkson that helped as well. And of course, it's the 40th anniversary of the song. But there was something about Kai Sent just mentioning it to his followers, and all of a sudden we have another top 10 song from 40 years ago, not only on iTunes, but it re-entered. And Wes, I know that you follow charts. It re-entered Billboard after so many years. The song Conga re-entered the Billboard chart.
Yep. Yep.
So that was fun.
Great.
We had the Cook Festival, and she sounded amazing. Just seeing her out and about and doing a full-length concert was great. We had the Madrid concert, which I went to, and that was tons of fun. And then, of course, there were the fun podcasts that she did as well with Alan Carr, Elvis Duran, Enrique Santos. Did you guys see the one? It's called Table Manners with Jesse and Lenny.
I loved that
That
one.
was so. I'm not
didn't see
familiar
that
with them. This was the first time that I was introduced to the.
Yeah.
So great.
I didn't know that she had a podcast. I knew Jessie Ware as a musician. I did not know that she had a podcast with her mom, because her music is so cool. Like, she's got this really cool disco album that just came out. So worth listening to if you're looking for something to listen to. But the podcast is so cute, and her mom is adorable.
I did watch that, and now that you're saying that, the British, yes, I did watch that, and I had no idea who that was. Jessie Ware.
It was fun to watch them kind of gush over Gloria,
Yes, that was good.
and you could see the level of admiration that they have for her. So that was really, really cute. Of course, we all know that she starred in the Gabby's Dollhouse movie, which I had a perfect excuse. I took my girls with me, and they were huge fans. And when we left the movie theater, they were telling me that their favorite character in the movie was Gloria. Was in this case Grandma Gigi. Then there was the Billboard digital magazine, which she was on the cover of that. Now the cool thing about Billboard was there was a page dedicated to the fans where where we had the opportunity to share a message with Gloria and a picture with Gloria. So you were supposed to be included. What happened?
I didn't have a picture with her, so I was like, well, this is not gonna make sense for me to be.
Oh, I didn't know they had
picture me.
asked you.
Ola.
It would have made
Yeah.
total sense, because although you didn't have a picture with her, you could have taken a picture with your huge collection. I don't think anyone has a bigger collection than you.
Oh,
That
yeah.
would have been
No.
perfect. That would have
Then
been.
I'd be the crazy
No,
collector
you are the
guy.
crazy collector guy. Own it.
You're gonna
Secret
lean into
crazy
your
collector
crazy.
guy.
That's what this show is all about.
Absolutely. And then just recently, right before the year ended, she did the Grammy celebration of Latin music. Did you guys watch that one? That special?
Yes.
Oh my God. I didn't watch the whole special, but her medley, first of all, was so
great.
long
Oh, good.
and so good. Yeah.
So
It was
good.
nice that they gave her an icon. They gave her the sort of respect to be like, yeah, take as many songs as you want, as much time as you need, do your thing for as long as you want to do it.
And to
And to
open
open
it.
it, yeah. She did conga, she did Get on Your Feet, she did Rhythm is Gonna Get You, she did Mi
Chirriqui
Tierra, she did Chirriqui Chirri, she did La Vecina. Did she do Raíces too?
And she did
Yeah,
Raíces.
she did.
Yeah.
Yep.
I thought that was pretty cool.
That was a cool blend or medley how they blended all the songs together.
It was very nice to see her perform. She had her dancers. She sounded great. She looked amazing. Now, every time that I hear her perform La Vecina, I don't know how she does it. I try singing along with her, and Rob, I don't know, maybe you could sing along perfectly fine. I try singing along, and I get all tongue twisted. She does it so effortlessly.
Yes. It's a hard line, the second verse you're talking about.
Yes.
Yeah.
She
It's tough. You got to practice it a lot.
she does it so effortlessly. I'm like, you go, you do
Well, that's
it.
why she's
She's the queen.
international superstar Gloria Estefan, and you are here on a podcast
I'm on a podcast.
talking about international superstar.
So yeah, once again, so many things, but there are a few events that I did not share. Starting with the album release party in Miami, and Wes, I think was that your first time meeting Gloria?
Yes, it was. And then my first official like meetup with other original OG Conga members from back in the day. Meeting you was a highlight of 2025 for sure.
Likewise, because we've known each other for quite some time.
Decades.
You were the guy that would consistently outbid everyone on every item on eBay back in the late 90s, early 2000s. So I know exactly who Wes was.
The good eBay days.
So tell us about your experience with that party.
Oh, that party was just phenomenal. To think back that it actually happened is still mind-boggling, you know. For I think we were very fortunate to have been invited, that they chose to include us in this album release party. But yeah, like I said, it was my first time meeting her. The fun part of the party was actually EEI reaching out to me and Carlos about helping them with, should I say, section or area of the party. It was outdoors, called Gloria's Garden. And as you entered Gloria's garden, there were TV screens on the left and the right. When you first would enter the garden, you'll see the late 70s era, and then the 80s era, the 90s era. And they reached out to me and Carlos to help with send videos from different eras and cover art from different eras. So to walk through there and be like, hey, I sent those images to them, and here they are on the screen. And I actually got one of the cool moments of the whole party, and luckily I just fell into the right place at the right time. I followed Gloria, and I've got it on video, and I'm sure I sent it to you. I'm right behind Gloria. She's like dancing through the Gloria's garden, and she points at the cover art that we sent, and I'm like, to be right behind her to get that footage was so cool.
That was a really cool video. I really do appreciate
Yeah.
that video a lot, and I'm glad that you were able to capture that. The reason for these videos were to celebrate her 50 years in music, and it was representing, each screen was representing a specific decade. We hung out during the party. There were many times where you were just off on your own and you seemed mesmerized. So share what was kind of going through your head.
Yes, like so many different mixed feelings and emotions is like, for one, I'm really here, and to see all of the video footage and the music, and they did a phenomenal job, didn't they, putting all this party together. Just off walking around by myself, and I was like, wow, I can't believe I'm actually a part of this. What am I doing here? You know, looking for Rob. Wish Rob could have been there.
Rob was asleep because Rob is a teacher, and it was a weekday in March. There was no way. Also, I wasn't invited.
I would have brought you. It seemed like it all happened so fast. No, like I literally flew down. I was in Miami less than 24
Okay,
hours.
when
It
you
was
received
crazy.
the invitation, I mean, within minutes, I think you already had everything booked.
Of course.
Yes. Yes. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't.
I'm going, and it's
Yes.
a wrap. It's a done deal.
Yeah. And I didn't even think about bringing anybody with me. And then later, I think you brought it up. And I'm like, oh, I didn't even think about that. And I already had the like blow. Now to look back at it, I regret I would have totally taken my sister. I showed her all, included her all in all of the videos. Funny story is, I didn't tell her or my mom that I was even going. Like they knew nothing about it. So I had planned on like, surprising them with like if I would at that point I was thinking, oh, hey, if I get a chance to take a photo with her or whatnot, and just drop them um, a picture. And that's what I did. And I remember Whitney's response, wait, what is
This
happening?
is how you know that Wes is not Hispanic, by the way, because he didn't tell his mother that
Yeah.
he's taking a flight.
Yeah.
So
Nope. I
so
didn't
you
tell any
don't
of
do
them, and they
that.
were like
That's
so
sin.
shocked.
That is sin.
I'm standing in security. I passed the gate. I'm at the gate. I'm on the flight. The flight is taking off. I landed. You don't do that? That's
Oh,
crazy to
No.
me.
Well, a text, yes. If it was any other event, yes. But for this, it all seemed like it
No, I need
happened
to.
so fast, and I was like, I didn't know what to expect or what was going to happen. That was the coolest part. I don't know about you, Carlos, but for me, it's like, for one, I'd never been to any Gloria event like this other than two concerts.
Not a lot of people
Um,
get to enter Gloria's
and
garden.
not
Yeah, that's
Right,
true.
exactly. I was like, wow.
That is true.
And it was this a moment, and like, gosh, I'll never forget it. It was, and I meant telling everybody, I was like, guys, I'm not being this on purpose. Like I was being, I'm like, I'm just in awe of what's happening right now. Sorry that I'm not talking to you
Was
guys.
it that you were in
It was
awe,
so
or
fun.
was it that you were drunk? Because you had quite a few drinks that night. That was later. Okay. To my defense, I had a bunch of drinks too, but it's that there was a specific person that kept on feeding, actually the same person that gifted me this bottle of champagne that I'm drinking right now. Whenever I hang out with him, his name's Luigi. I met him at Songs and Stories last year when Gloria performed with Kelly. Um, every time he went to the bar, he came back with another drink for me, and then my problem is I don't know how to say no. So I just kept on drinking and kept on drinking. Then Emilio's assistant, executive assistant, Janet de Armas, she asked me to get her a drink. And I can't get someone a drink and not get myself a drink. So I kept on drinking. And the name of the drink was Chiriquichiri,
Yeah,
coincidentally.
that was the one, and
Hmm.
I took in a few of those. Those were my
I
favorite.
I definitely chiriquichiried all night long to the point where at the end of the night I ended up falling into a bush, and that's a whole other story for another day. But
Yeah.
that was
He chirriquitirid right into a bush.
I enjoyed Gloria's garden, and then I enjoyed the chiriquichiri bush. But
I remember texting Carlos the next morning. He was like, I don't even remember leaving. I really don't. I don't even know. We all just like, I don't know. We didn't even say bye. We just left because
we
we
just
were.
left.
I
Just
don't even remember how I got home or back to the room. Yeah. Obviously an Uber. I don't even remember. Yes.
That's crazy because you're so tall.
Yeah, I'm 6'3".
From
I am
from the
tall.
pictures that like I can't I can't believe that you would get so drunk because that's a lot of alcohol. They have to fill like two of your legs in order for you to feel that.
Believe it or not, I'm a little bit of a lightweight. I've always been that way.
Oh, not me.
Wes, not to put you on
Mhm.
blast, but every time I saw you with a new
Yeah,
drink.
after I got a little bit more comfortable later on. Yep.
I know
Hmm.
that's right.
And
By the 10th Jitty he could roll his R's.
yeah.
He went from west to west.
To Wes. Oye,
I may not
Wes.
know what these words are. I know a lot of the words, but hey, my pronunciation is pretty good from listening to her for so many years. Yep.
That's right. Especially after a few drinks.
Well, another fun event was Kelly Clarkson's Songs and Stories. And Rob, when that was announced, you were in heaven because those are your divas right there.
I'm going to tell you what, when that was announced, I was not in heaven because as soon as it was announced, I had diarrhea. Okay? Because from the minute I put in the request to see them at the show, because it just said Kelly Clarkson show, Gloria Estefan guests, and I didn't know if it was Songs and Stories, I didn't know if it was more people. I had no idea. I just knew that I was going to see them together. From the minute I put that request in, I'm sick because I don't know what it's going to be. I don't know if I'm going to get in. Eventually, I got approved. I got there that day, and the whole day I'm a nervous wreck because by then we knew there was Songs and Stories. We knew that Kelly had this separate series called Songs and Stories that was debuting over the summer, and I could not believe that my two favorite singers in the whole world were doing something together. First of all, because I never expected them to. Kelly's music is much more pop rock, contemporary, adult contemporary, and Gloria's music is much more Latin, and it's not a genre that Kelly's ever leaned into. She has a little bit on the talk show now as a doing karaoke, but never before this. So the fact that it was happening was beyond my wildest dream.
How great did they sound together?
So good.
Oh, here's another reason why I was nervous, Rick. Here's another reason why I was nauseous because leading up to this, Kelly had crazy allergies and she was not singing. Before March, the last time I was at a taping and she sang was in November. Like she was not doing karaoke. She could not sing and she couldn't even wear eye makeup. Her allergies were so
You were
bad.
so worried during that time.
I was a nervous wreck, and I would text you every morning being like, "It's not going to happen. We're going to get called." And I took a whole personal day off work because I was like, I can't even think about rushing out of there to go to work. I needed a day to process. I needed a day to sit with my thoughts, sit in my feelings. And so the fact that Kelly comes out and then sings, I was like, this is enough for me. Like when Gloria came out, I went with my two Kelly friends, Pam and Jesse, and they just wanted to see me see her. Like they wanted to experience me experiencing this. And Jesse goes, just so you know, if the camera's on you, you're not clapping. I said, what am I doing? I'm not clapping. He goes, you're just hugging yourself.
I could totally see that though.
And I'm like, what? And I'm like giving myself an embrace. Like I
You're
just can't
rocking
believe
back
I'm
and
here.
forth.
I was like, I did not look well at the end. And at the end of I think their first karaoke, the camera does actually point to me and Jesse, and I'm just beaming like from ear to ear because I just couldn't believe that this was happening. Eventually, I learned to clap. I learned that my hands still exist and they can make noise together. So,
But what a fun show.
Yeah, it was
Especially
great.
when they sang Mi Tierra together. I'm like, oh, all right,
first
Kelly.
of all, like for that album, for that song, you know, is a song that means so much to me. Like I said earlier, and never a song that I anticipated Kelly to sing. Like, you know, she sings in Spanish once in a while, but I thought she would do something a little bit easier, like a ballad or, you know, Raíces to promote the song. The fact that they did Mi Tierra, which is a fast song, the fact that Kelly still talks about that performance being her favorite that she did in the entire year of 2025 means so much to me because of how much it meant to Kelly as well.
That's awesome. And then there was the performance of Conga that they did together, which that blew up. That performance went viral. Overall, it was just such a cool experience, especially during the commercial breaks, just seeing them, sit back and, get to know each other and just talk and see that behind the scenes. That was pretty cool to witness.
It was just a fun thing. It felt like the Flintstones meet the Jetsons for me, like to have
Oh, that's
the people from
I
my
could see that. Yeah, yeah, no, that makes sense.
You know, like the people from my, not even Kelly and Gloria. I mean, like you all. Like my Gloria people were over there by the bathroom. My Kelly people were over there by the photo booth, and I was sort of
You were
bouncing.
ignoring the Gloria people,
I
me.
was I was not ignoring you because there was drama, and so as soon as there was chisme, I came running over to my chismosas over by the bathroom because I knew who wanted the tea.
You sure did. You sure, which leads me into my little story about my experience there. They premiered the music video for La Vecina. That song is very fun, sassy, sarcastic, nothing serious about it. I ended up boohoo crying watching the video. And Gloria, Emilio, everyone was looking at me like, what the hell is going on? I got really sentimental that they wrote a song about a nosy neighbor, which I thought was about me.
It's not about you.
I felt so touched and moved that they wrote this song about me that it just led me to tears.
It was it was so great watching that, knowing that you two were in the audience. It was so good.
You know, people still send me the videos, like when it shows up on their algorithm, like, oh my God, guess what? It's Kelly and Gloria. And I'm like, look closer. I'm there and I'm crying in the video. So like I was there, I went through it, I lived through it. I'm okay. But it was a highlight for me for my life, but also for 2025 because you know, it's never something I expected.
And we got to hang out with her afterwards, after the show.
And it seemed like she knew me,
Who doesn't
which
know
okay,
Little Rob?
no. I've never spoken to her. I've taken pictures with her. I've never spoken to her. We'll talk about this in I think next week's episode actually. I don't know how to speak to her because I freak out. It's just like Wes was saying.
I do understand that.
So when we're taking a picture together and she goes, "Oh my God, how have you been?" And she seemed like even if she didn't know my name, familiar enough to like recognize my face, I'm panicking. Like if I wasn't already nauseous from the talk show, I was nauseous from that interaction because I could not believe that there was a modicum of familiarity in her awareness of me.
She tends to remember the better looking fans.
Well, that's why it's taken her so long because she ignored me during my awkward teenage phase then because she was like, who is that weird kid with acne and
Well,
a mop
that's because
top?
you were dyeing your hair orange.
I did, and my hair was down to my shoulders, out to my. I had like Shakira hair.
I need to see some of these photos. I can't
Oh,
imagine you
I'll share them
like
with
No,
you.
no. Mm-mm. Oh, you because you're in them.
Well, after Songs and Stories, a few months later, we have the summer concert series at GMA. And as soon as that was announced, Wes, you said, I'm on board. So we're outside waiting to go in. and security comes out with a list of all the names. I give the guy my name, and he says I'm not on the list. And I feel bad because this security guy got to see a side of me that I don't like to show. But
Hmm.
I end up taking the list from his hand. I was like, "Don't you start that shit right now!" And I'm there scanning the list, freaking out a little because I'm like, if I'm not on that list. But I was there. We had a good laugh. We're called into the studio, and Gloria performs La Vecina. So we got to see her perform La Vecina, and during the second half of La Vecina, I see her scanning the audience. She calls me out to dance with her. For a split second, I was nervous, and then I'm like, you know what? I don't care who's watching or if I look like an idiot. I'm just gonna have fun with it, and I did. I had so much fun.
It was perfect.
But what was funny is I think I was a little too inspired going
Hmm.
out because I came out as Janet, Emilio's assistant, later texts me after that performance. She goes, "You came out like a torpedo," which makes total sense. Anyone that knows me knows that
Hello.
that's my nickname, Torpedo. After after that performance, I get the text message from Janet. I get a text message from Emily, Este-FAN. I start getting all these messages left and right that I saw you on TV. I saw you on TV. We had so much fun. And then when we were waiting for Gloria after the show, she comes outside. She's like, "Where's my dancer?" So, and we had an opportunity to take a picture with her and chat with her
Remember,
for a while.
remember before we go into the studio or to where we were filmed, they security or whoever they go through all no, you can't have your phone out, this and that, like, you know.
Oh yeah.
And of course, I was cool, not thinking that obviously this is going to be on TV, but I immediately pulled my phone out and kind of in the back, so it was hidden, so I wasn't going to be on
You're
TV with
6'3".
my cell
You were
phone
not
scene.
hidden, Wes.
I was kind of like in the middle of people, and I was like, "There is no way I'm not going to get this on
I
film." Him
love,
sneaking out.
love, love, love when tall people think that they're little.
I was in the middle of
I
somebody,
love
that's for sure.
giant 6'3" Westman. I'm just gonna sneak. I'm just gonna. Like, are you kidding?
So yeah, that was definitely, there were so many highlights, of course.
I mean, that was such a cool moment. I
But
mean, you have such a unique connection with her. Like, I'm gonna say that every mega fan who knows her thinks they have like a connection, but I feel that it's just different with you. You and her have the connection that's nobody else does, in my opinion. It's so
She
cool.
wrote a whole song about him called La Vecina.
there you
Yeah, that's
go.
right. I don't care what anybody else says. I'll say it right here. Carlos and Gloria have a connection that nobody else has. No other fan
Well,
has.
because she knows that she gets some chisme from me on occasion,
Yeah,
occasionally
yeah,
I'll slide into her DMs with some chisme, and
yeah.
she always tells me the same thing. She says this in Spanish. No me gusta, pero me entretiene,
That's right.
which is I don't like it, but it entertains me.
Wes, do you know what chisme means?
I do not. Let me
Oh,
teach me a new word.
here's your Spanish word of the day.
All right.
Chisme. It means gossip,
Gossip. All
and
right.
chismosa. It means Carlos.
That is me.
But yeah, that was such a cool experience. And you know, do you remember after the performance, security was trying to like rush everybody to get him off the stage, like and we were just standing around there like, yeah, no, you're not going to move us anywhere. This guy, he kept trying to come up to us, and like me and Carlos and yeah, we were all gonna stay there and we're gonna wait. We're gonna get to say hello to Gloria. And me, when she walks up and she sees me, she's like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so glad we got you in here." And I'm thinking, wow, she knows, for one, who I am, and two, that was even a thing. Like, it was really cool.
Wes, everyone knows you.
And
Everyone
if they're
knows
not,
you.
they know your website.
They remember your
The
website.
old the old cheesy GeoCities website from
Yeah,
back in the day.
well, that kept me very entertained back in what was that? The late 90s, early 2000,
Um, Early
early
2000s.
2000.
Yeah.
I lived on that website.
It was like when
There
the
was not a
Alma
day.
Caribeña album came out.
Okay, there was not a day
Yeah.
that went by that I was not on that website.
Same.
Wow, that's cool.
I had just gotten the internet. I had my first AIM screen name, which I can't tell you what it was.
I can't
but it
tell you
was so
mine
good.
either.
Those AOL CDs that
Oh
came in
my
the mail
God.
to get you to
Yeah,
join.
that's right. I had 96 free hours of the internet, and I spent 94 of them on Wes's website.
Well, we definitely had the opportunity to be part of some pretty amazing events. There was also one other one that I think we were all very excited about. She did Tiny Desk last year as well. And Rob, I know you were excited because that version of Conga that she did blew you away.
Oh my God. First of all, the Tiny Desk was, I still watch it all the time. Like it, however many views it has, 98% of them are mine. Like I watch that all the time because the Comparsa Conga, which I have named it because that's what I think it sounds like, is so good. It's incredible that all these years later that she's bringing Conga back to what she says it originally sounded like. And it sounds so fresh and so unique and so hot. Like if she did Comparsa Conga at a live show, the shoes would be coming off, the earrings would be coming off, shirts would be coming off. It would be pandemonium. And it would drive everybody crazy. Like bring it back.
That
Do
would
it
be
that
pretty
way.
hot. I mean, she has an opportunity to do it now in Chile.
That's
Yeah, but
right.
I'm
Viña
not
del
going to be there
Mar.
for that.
Wes is going.
I've got to work on that. You
Got
guys
to work on what?
getting you both there with me.
It's not going to
Me and
happen.
Esteban.
Okay, here's how I'll go. Listeners, if you'd like to sponsor Rob and I would absolutely love to go. However,
Wow.
the three of us will be in Atlanta. Well, Rob, you're still working on that for the
You're going to
Yes.
premiere of
be in
Basura.
Atlanta.
I'm still working on. I'm probably going to go because
You
I
better.
make poor decisions financially, so I will be there.
Oh, I
I'll
made
get
a,
us a room.
I made a
You
lot
go.
of
I
poor.
can't share a room with anybody. I'm going to tell you that right now. I need my own space. I need to be able to close the door. I love you both, but I need to
No,
be able to close the door.
I feel you. I'm the same
I'm
way.
not I'm not that Cuban where like
Well, if
we need
we
to be
could
on
get
top of everybody all the time.
a little condo together that has separate rooms, that's what I'm working on. That's
Okay,
what I'm
that's
doing.
nice.
We'll see. We'll see.
Well, it has been an incredible year, as we've already discussed. But the last thing we're going to do is a segment that we like to call Let It Loose, where each of us are going to spend a few minutes talking about a particular subject related to the episode, and we're going to let it loose one by one. So this time, we're going to let it loose on our favorite moment from 2025. I know I already talked about my favorite moment being Songs and Stories, but the aftermath of Songs and Stories is something that really resonated with me because, you know, I don't know if Gloria underestimates herself, but I think she's too humble to overestimate herself the way we estimate her. That makes sense.
Totally.
Because after Songs and Stories aired, there was what I think was a Gloria Renaissance all over the charts, all over iTunes, all over the internet, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. Everybody was going on and on and on about how incredible Gloria was, how great she sounds, how great she looks, and her songs were skyrocketing over the charts. But what resonated with me the most is the respect that Kelly had for her, and the respect and reverence that Kelly continues to have for her, because I don't know if you know that she has a Sirius XM station, but she plays her cover of Get on Your Feet sometimes. And she talks so much about how she grew up listening to Gloria's music, how Gloria taught her about stage presence, and it was the first time singing in Spanish as a kid, which is not, it's not a singer that Kelly has ever really talked about. She's talked about Reba and Aretha and Annie Lennox and all these people who shaped her. But I didn't know that Gloria had such an effect on her. And she, even as far as last week in January for New Year's, mentioned that her cover of Mi Tierra with Gloria was her favorite thing that she sang in 2025. And the respect that she has for Gloria's legacy and her career is so incredible. So yeah, that to me was my favorite moment of 2025 is just the aftermath of Songs and Stories.
I love that. All right, how about you, Wes?
Connecting with you, Carlos, even more, getting to know you even more than what we have in the past, meeting in person, you and Sammy, like some other, diehard Gloria fans, to be a part of that was so cool. And to go off of that as well, being a record collector, Pinnacle is getting a new music from Gloria, hearing the excitement that, oh my gosh, there's a new album coming out. There's a new vinyl coming out, Target vinyl, which is beautiful, which is a Target exclusive. You can only buy them in the United States. To see people post photos of their copy of the album and just going to the store and actually buying a copy like we used to means a lot.
All right, so it's my turn to let it loose. And mine, I'm going to keep it simple. Having the opportunity to meet so many of my friends that I've known for 15, 20 years, but have never met in person, that was definitely a highlight. People like Laura Pau Burgos that I've known, I want to say we've known each other now for 20 years. We talk almost every day, but we've never met in person, as well as Felipe Blanco. Having gone to that Madrid concert, I got to meet a lot of members of Conga. With that said, another highlight was the love that we received from people like Diana Palacios, Heather Beltran, Janet de Armas, David Naranjo, Laura Mejia Cruz, Victoria Varela. These are people that work with Gloria and Emilio, and they just went above and beyond, not only for us, but just for the entire fandom. They put so much work, hard work, effort, time, blood, sweat, and tears for sure, to make sure that we all had the experience that we had in 2025. And I can't end this Let It Loose without giving Gloria and Emilio a big thank you. They showed us so much love. She deserves the next 5 years off with all the work that she's done. And ultimately, she doesn't have to do it. She does it for us, and we're here for it. I'm here for it. I will continue, following her wherever she may, wherever we need to go, except Chile, unless I get that sponsor. but, but if you guys will allow me, I would like to dedicate our first episode to someone that's no longer with us. But just like the individuals that I mentioned previously, always went above and beyond for people like the three of us and the rest of Conga and the Glorious fandom. And that's Frank Amadeo. Anyone that knew him knew that he was just such a beautiful person inside and out, and would go above and beyond for, I mean, I just know some of the stuff that he had to deal with me. I remember there were times where I would go to a concert and I had the worst seats, and I would just message him saying, Frank, I have really bad seats. Can you hook me up? And then he would just come right out some magical door with these tickets. And next thing you know, I have, front row seats to a concert in Connecticut. So definitely he's someone that I know that I miss, the fans miss. So I could only imagine how much Gloria, Emilio, and all of EI miss him.
Absolutely.
So Frank, if you could hear us from above, we miss you and we thank you for everything.
Absolutely. No, that was perfectly said. I never really got to interact with Frank, but everything that anybody's ever said about meeting him and sharing space with him has only made me wish I had those experiences and wish I had less shame in reaching out to him, because he always seemed like such a really special,
I can say the
kind
same,
guy.
Rob,
So
until Brazil 305 came out, he gave us, some of the fans with social media platforms access to some remixes and information to help promote the album, which was really cool that he made us feel to be a part of the project in a sense.
with that being said, we're going to close out this week's episode with a great big thank you. Thank you to all of you for listening. I hope it's all of you, not just one of you. But if you like this episode, please review, rate, give us 5 stars. Don't forget to subscribe wherever you listen to your podcast, Apple, Spotify. All these little things help us kind of get our show off the ground. So anything helps. please, we don't want to be kind of in a silo with the three of us. We want to involve as many people as we can. So let's keep the conversation going all over social media, on Instagram, on Twitter, maybe on TikTok. Our username is Let It Loose Pod all over socials. So follow, chat with us, interact with us as much as you want to. That's going to do it for this week's episode. Thank you so much once again. Bye, everybody.
Hasta luego.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening to Let It Loose, a Gloria Este-FAN podcast. Let It Loose was produced by Carlos, Rob, and Wes, edited by Cintiana, and graphics were designed by Laura. Thank you to Gloria for bringing us all together. Subscribe, rate, and share the love, and join us next week for a brand new episode.